Oscar Robertson was the consummate all-around basketball player.
He averaged a triple-double. He inspired people that were 6'5" and under to do the kinds of things that they do. You know, the Russell Westbrooks of the world, you know, going after rebounds and things. That was unheard of.
It was just kind of fun to sit on the bench and watch him play and even watch his practice.
He's an NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks, 12-time NBA All-Star. He did win Rookie of the Year and Most Valuable Player.
We knew right away that he was one of the greatest players ever.
But Oscar's prowess on the court underscores who he truly is as a man.
He was a leader, and he knew where he wanted to go.
His assist record shows that he's worried about other people.
Welcome to BYU Radio's Big Stories, telling the amazing and inspiring tales from the Big 12 and beyond. I'm your host, Cleon Wall. Our episode, Oscar Robertson, Lead by Example.
My background started in Charlotte, Tennessee, on a little farm, maybe 11 or 12 acres that my grandfather had.
When Oscar was young, his family moved to Indianapolis, where his parents worked a lot.
My father had 2 jobs. My mother, she was working all over the place, and I'd get up and never see them till late at night. Sometimes didn't see my father. He had 2 jobs. I'd go to sleep, boom. Get up the next day, he's already gone.
Growing up, Oscar spent more time around his grandfather than he did his father.
I used to spend all my summers with him. We read the Bible every night. Had to go to church every Sunday, and you stayed in the church all day. You didn't go up there and stay a couple hours and come home.
He learned a lot on his grandfather's farm in Tennessee, including resilience.
He just told you the truth about things. He said, you know, things are going to happen in your life you don't understand. You said you have to understand and get better with it.
But Oscar learned to love the game of basketball back in Indianapolis.
I was starting to play basketball. I had an older brother that was playing basketball, but Chris was at his high school there. And I just used to imagine throwing balls in the basket, counting down the seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boys, good. You know, those kind of things, which almost all kids do when they first start playing basketball.
Oscar's mother was working as a housekeeper for a family who was discarding a well-worn basketball, which she brought home.
And she called me in the house and said, I got something for you. She gave me a basketball. I just looked at her, I said, thank you, and I hugged her. I was so happy, it was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Because nobody had a basketball around there.
Julian Gibson, a Robertson family friend, and one of the people who is part of the public relations squad for Team Oscar Robertson, has his own take on the story.
We all have this feeling for our child's future, and I believe that basketball was spiritual because it was a gift in the present during that time that she knew would make a better future, and she knew it was going to change the future when she gave him that ball.
Oscar eventually won 2 high school basketball championships at Crispus Attucks High School and then chose to attend the University of Cincinnati.
I don't even know why I picked Cincinnati, other than them having a business. I want to get a business degree there. I was the first black to play there. I attended classes, and I was on the black in all the classes.
He faced some uncomfortable situations and handled them very well.
Tay Baker was an assistant coach for the Bearcats when Oscar was on the team.
He was a great leader and a great team player, as good as he was as an individual.
I enjoyed Cincinnati. I enjoyed the education. I got a good degree. Met my wife there, which was probably the best reason I went to Cincinnati, to be honest.
But when Oscar first played for the Bearcats, not everyone appreciated his talent.
And you know, when you get upperclassmen with a rookie coming in, I mean, they talked about me a little bit. That at one time I was walking by the room and they were saying Oscar shoots too much. So I opened the door. I said, listen, I go on the board and I'm rebounding. I'm getting 15 rebounds a game. And I'm playing defense, and so if I want to shoot, I'm going to shoot that. So you don't have to pass to me. But, you know, it was probably a little jealousy. You know, I was averaging, 35 points a game. You know, it overwhelmed me.
My name's Carl Bouldin. Oscar was a year ahead of me there. Playing with him every day, I would end up watching him more than paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing half the time, and that was get out of the way. He proved himself every day in practice and on the court. When I was a freshman, the team stayed at University of Houston, stayed at the Shamrock Hilton, and they wouldn't let him stay there. So the coach took over, and the rest of us went to the university and he stayed there. It worked out, but he took it.
I got threats when I was in college before I went down, played in North Carolina. I got letters about this, that they were going to shoot me and do all these things. I had no real thoughts about it. I didn't think that much about it, to be honest.
They didn't like it. We didn't like it. But those were the times. And he helped change that. No, he was confident in himself, and I don't know that he was comfortable speaking at different things, but you wouldn't know it.
I think my father's very quiet and shy. He's a very quiet, shy man. My name is Mari Robertson. I'm the third daughter of my parents, Oscar and Yvonne Robertson. He was put into circumstances that you wouldn't expect yourself to be in, but I think it just brought out some of the positive aspects of his character. So if you have that type of belief system in you, it doesn't matter who you meet or where you go, because you'll always know that you'll end up doing the right thing for yourself and for others. And I think that's something that he's held with him for his entire life and still acts like that and still behaves that way.
Oscar Robertson wanted his actions to do the talking. That type of leadership has inspired so many people like Julian Gibson.
This is a guy I know to be, he's a spiritual guy. He's a change agent. I was talking to a gentleman, and he's 30-year-old. He said, I think I know who Oscar Robertson is. He's the triple-double king. And I said, yeah, but he was so much more. Because if it were not for Oscar Robertson and the Oscar Robertson rule, these guys wouldn't make the money they make. Free agency would not be what it is, not just for pro basketball, but for sports in particular. So the way I see that is it's allowed a lot of people to make that kind of money and bring their families up out of poverty. I realize I actually honor him more for what he's done off court, because I know he's involved with the Kidney Foundation and things of that nature, and that's what type of guy he is. So that's what he means to me. I felt like he inspired me to be a change agent as well.
Hopefully I can explain this. The interviews that he conducts, I would say it's a safety facade, that he protects himself being a shy person and one that's very caring. He hides that, which is a good thing, because, if you don't hide it, then somebody can abuse it all the time. His assist record shows that he's worried about other people, down to, him talking to friends who are ill now and keeping in touch with them and seeing how they're doing way back from when he was in high school or played in middle school.
We asked Oscar if he had a motto that inspires him, which could also motivate others. He thought about it for a second and then turned to an old basketball coach for wisdom.
I know Jim Valvano, when he contracted cancer, he said they'll never give up. And I would say they'll never give up. Because what's the alternative? So if you got something that you want to do, try it. Do as much as you can to try to get that accomplished. But you need some angels around you sometimes. Some people who are involved in a situation say, hey, by the way, can I help you? I still believe there's a God someplace. I think God is in charge of everything we do.
He's iconic.
Everything he did, he handled with dignity.
I think his upbringing and his humble beginnings and, his belief in his faith, I think those things helped shape everything he did. And I think that's one of the things that's important. You don't have to abandon who you truly are just depending on the situation. And if you trust yourself, that's the other thing, that if you trust yourself and believe in yourself, even if you doubt yourself sometimes, but if you have that underlying faith in yourself, then I think you can persevere through anything.
Oscar Robertson, Lead by Example, was produced and written by Cleon Wall. Music and post-production by Finn Morrison. Make sure you watch BYUTV's Big Stories by logging on to BYUSN.com. Big Stories is a production of BYU Radio. We here at BYU Radio not only like telling good stories from around the Big 12, but also stories about the BYU Cougars. So if you want to find out more about the Cougars clad in blue, you can check out the Deep Blue podcast. It's hosted by Jason Shepard. You'll hear from both past and present BYU athletes and coaches. They open up about their personal journeys, challenges, and triumphs. Deep Blue offers a unique glimpse into the lives of these remarkable individuals, showcasing sides of them you won't find anywhere else. It's a podcast that not only brings you closer to the Cougars, but also uplifts and inspires with every episode. Don't miss out. Download and subscribe to Deep Blue wherever you get podcasts, or you can always find it on the BYU radio app.